Hi guys, it's about 20 minutes before midnight right now. Well, nothing really major is going on across the country other than a little bit of snow for the Rockies, a sliver of a red flag warning into parts of New Mexico, some flood warnings into portions of Arkansas and Mississippi. Then you have a dense fog advisory into portions of Kentucky, and then a frost advisory and freeze warning into parts of New York, northern Pennsylvania, and that's extreme northern Pennsylvania. Nothing really major other than that. There's also a little bit of some rain right now going on into portions of the mid-Atlantic, and I'll show you that with the radar. Here's the radar. You see all these little blobs here. You're like, whoa, you're saying things are really not that active. But then you see all of these blobs, and these blobs are actually not rain. They're actually from the radar scan. It's something with the radar and how it just does that when it scans. However, the rains that are coming down, that's actually precipitation, is this in here. And then we have this area of rain in here. And that's really affecting New Jersey, the Philadelphia region of Pennsylvania, Maryland, the D.C. region. If you kind of zoom in here, here's some of that rain. You work your way eastward, and you can sort of see there's the rain. You can see the Philly region is definitely getting some rain tonight. And this is associated with a front here. There's Washington getting some pretty nice rains tonight. So all of this is really what's going on across the region here. But other than that, and actually the heaviest of all the rains are actually towards the coast of North Carolina. Here in New England, though, nothing much. Also into the Great Lakes, nothing much. The Northwest, there's some scattered rain showers going on. And like I said, a little bit of snow into portions of Colorado, and that's again above 9,000 feet. What's going to happen here is we're going to kind of be going on a roller coaster ride. What's actually going to happen here is the East is going to do a brief warm up for about a day or so towards really towards Friday and Saturday, and then the West will be cool. On here, I'll actually show you. We're going to kind of see something more along the lines like this on Friday and Saturday. And then what happens here, though, is we have a front. It's actually going to be more along the lines like this. And it's this in here that's a front, and there will be some rain associated with it. That's going to work its way towards the east. That's going to set the stage for a nor'easter that's going to form down towards the Gulf of Mexico, ride its way up, maybe cause some rains for many regions, snows for interior portions of the Northeast. We're talking central and western Mass, portions of New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, New York. That's really where and also northeastern Pennsylvania will be the portions where I am right now the most concerned for potential snows. However, those regions I'm not sure yet. There will be a 100% chance of rain into those regions that I just talked about in the interior Northeast. But they could also see snow into that region as well. So that's what's going on across the United States right now and for the next couple days. Here are the models to support what I'm talking about. This is their most recent NEM model. I'll just show you briefly. There's that front I'm talking about. And you can sort of see it kind of. This is the rain associated with the front here. And in the meantime, this is our load down here forming in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, let's talk about the most recent GFS model, and this will be really this is really what a lot of people are looking at here. You can sort of see the this is where the heaviest precipitation is. Again, a lot of people will look at one particular model. I know some people are saying, "Oh, this is going to go out to sea now." It's really not. It's really on top of us here. You can sort of see, although the heaviest of the precipitation is offshore, there's still some precipitation coming down in the interior portions of the Northeast. And actually, I don't even know if it will materialize like this. It may actually be something different. But again, you can sort of see back towards the west. This is the major warm-up we're going to be talking about out there. It's going to just get very hot. We're going to be talking about temperatures into the 80s and 90s. It's just going to be miserable. And there's that low. It works its way north and eastward, and that works its way out by, I would say probably next Thursday, potentially. And with that, we'll see a warm-up. And then, of course, you can sort of see what happens here. You can sort of see that we may actually get a little bit of snow into portions of North Dakota, South Dakota by, I would say the beginning of the month, potentially, of May. And then, of course, you can sort of see how this kind of translates into not much going on for the Northeast and New England. So after really this storm, going to be very dry out there, just absolutely patched. What we're going to talk about here is the European. You can see this is the warm-up I'm talking about. There's the cool down. There's the front. There's our low. Sort of forms in the Gulf of Mexico. This could ride its way northeastward. You can sort of see the cool air that's in place in New England. With that being said, this thing could really form into a monster of a storm. If that happens, we'd be talking about some snow. Don't know yet if that's going to happen. But again, here is that warm air in the west. Very warm. It'll just be warm. The warmest of all the conditions will happen towards Arizona. Also the Central Plains. They could be reaching the 90s, close to 100 degrees into some of these regions. It's just going to be hot out there. The very warm air will just be in place in the west. The mountains will probably maybe only get up into the 60s or 70s here, but even then, that's very warm for them. There could be a sliver of a cooler air mass into portions of northwestern Oregon or Washington State. It's really, particularly Washington State would be where that cooler air would set up. But that's a small area. The majority of the west is very warm. Much warmer than average here. And like I said, it's really the east that would see the coolest, and that would be with a storm that would be coming up the coast. And you can sort of see how that changes through time. And actually, by the end of this period, we sort of see things kind of become more zonal. What does zonal mean? Well, it kind of is a more north to south sort of thing, and even then, the Northeast is seeing a very big warm-up. You can see the warm air down into the south, and you can sort of see it's a pretty much what we've seen all winter here, with the cool air really way up into Canada, the warm air to the south, and in the middle you can get periods of cooler air or even warm air. And then, of course, you can see the cooler air setting out into portions of Washington State. So that's really what's going on here. Like I said, there's a slight potential, and I will show you what I'm talking about when it comes in terms of the European model. These are for people who live out towards the eastern portions of the country. And it's only for the eastern portions of the country. Because if you zoom out here, we're zooming way out. The only snow, and we're working really towards the east, would be up into portions of Canada, British Columbia. That's really where the only other snow is at this certain point here. This would be towards next Monday, and you can sort of see how things develop in New England. And in the meantime, nothing really out west or in the central part of the country for snow. Again, this is something really major that we're watching here. You can sort of see as time works its way onward, there goes the snow. It's really developing. And again, the highest amounts would and could, and again, would and could are very big words here, in the interior portions of the Northeast, and particularly New England. And you can sort of see how this really, really matures itself. And again, what you have to do is really add all these amounts together, and that comes out to your total. But you can sort of see how this worked its way west. You can sort of see as time moves on, it works its way north and west. And that's with the storm exiting out towards Canada. So look at that blossom up into parts of Canada with 5 inches of snow. It's within a 6-hour period. It's really interesting to see how this will materialize and how this will actually happen. In the meantime, as this storm exits, you can sort of see the snow start falling into the mountains of Washington State. Okay, that's the mountains of Washington State where they're going to start getting that sorts of weather here. So we'll have to see what happens. You know, in the end, I'm not really sure. I can almost guarantee the Northeast and New England are going to get rain. Whether there is snow or not, that's another question that will eventually be answered. Particularly by Friday or Saturday, we'll have a better understanding of what's going to happen for that. But right now, very strong chance of rain and possible snow. So we'll keep tabs on that here. But for the rest of the country, looks very warm. The east will start out warm and then transition to cooler towards the beginning, towards the end of the weekend and the beginning parts of next week. That's it for now here. Have a great rest of your night, everyone, and we'll be back tomorrow with another update. Take care.